You know, in the movies, when the SWAT team rolls in all slow-mo, everybody looking like action figures? Yeah, this ain't that. This is Ready or Not, and it feels real, like heart-pumping, room-clearing, try not to get your teammates smoked kind of real. And it's finally coming to PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series XS on July 15th. You get 18 intense missions, solo or with your squad of 5. Clearing buildings, protecting civilians, and breaching with brains, not just bullets. This ain't run and gun, it's strategy, it's tension. It's like diffusing a situation and your childhood trauma at the same time. You can fully customize your team, armor, gear, outfits, weapons, and it's got full cross-play. So no matter what system your crew's on, y'all can roll together. Pre-order now, and they're throwing in some serious gear. The M32A1 grenade launcher, MKV pistol, and 590M shotgun. PC players, you're getting all that, plus the new Los Sueños Stories DLC, free on launch day. So if you're ready for the best tactical shooter of the year, a game that rewards brains, teamwork, and clean comms, this one's for you. Go pre-order Ready or Not now, out July 15th on PlayStation, Xbox, or PC. Today's guest is a comedian, an actor, a writer, and a director known for some of the funniest shows that anyone has ever seen. He's going into his 4th season and final season of Righteous Gemstones, which just kicked off on HBO. Vice Principals, Eastbound and Down. He's a legend. And he's one of the most requested human beings ever to be a guest on this show. I'm grateful to spend time with Mr. Danny McBride.
Shine on me, and I will find a song. I will sing it.
You already filmed a few of these today, or is this just, am I the only lucky guy today?
Only guy.
Look at us.
This is amazing. So thank you for your time.
Yeah, are you kidding me?
We good?
Sick. Is this going to have where all of our lines are, what we have to say in the interview? That'll be up there?
Yeah. That'd be so good. That's actually not a bad idea. If the whole interview were scripted, man, that'd be freaking pretty amazing, man. Good to see you today. No, I got this. There's a place called Matcha Luther King that I went to, and I was like,
sick.
This is, it just like, is that a, like, are we at that level where you're taking a guy like that and turning it into
Making
like
money.
a pun?
Yeah. Matcha Luther King.
Yeah, it was cool, but it was just like, you know.
They have the I have a cream drink. It's just like a cream coffee.
I'll have a medium. yeah, those motherfuckers. That's crazy, dude. Good to see you today, Danny McBride. Thanks for hanging out.
We're on. This is happening. We're doing it, huh?
Yeah, is it okay?
Perfect. I was waiting for this.
Yeah. I just definitely just having one of those days where it's like my skin feels all dry and stuff.
Wonder why that is.
I don't know. I don't know how hydration became like the hot thing in the past 10 years.
Is that it? People only started drinking water and hydrating in the last 10 years, you think?
It's more prevalent. You people like stay hydrated and stuff. I just think it feels more, it's more popular for sure.
You're in Burbank, though. Yours is this dry climate out here. Dries you out.
Yeah, it might be true.
It's not like Charleston, South Carolina. It's always balmy, sweaty.
Oh, yeah.
Wet.
Oh, dude, I went to CFC for a semester.
Did you really?
Yeah.
The College of Knowledge.
Yeah, baby. I used to live on King Street over there, right across. They had a Bebe store over there. It was like women's fine clothing or something.
Unfortunately, I don't think it's still there.
Or body textiles or something. They had a place called Silver Dollar.
Yeah.
Bar that we used to go to.
Yep, I've been to that place before.
Have you?
Yep.
Yeah, boy.
Charleston's a pretty fun spot.
God, it's great, except I took a girl on a to one of the, I think it's one of the 5 most unique cities in America,
Totally.
I think. And I took a girl on like a carriage tour or whatever, and it was a black girl that I was dating at the time, and a lot of it's kind of, it gets a little, some of the history around there is.
Oh yeah, they got some history around.
It's some risque history. So like, at a certain point, I'm like trying to tip the driver early, like, dude, just tell me, like,
can we change this to a ghost tour maybe?
Yeah. So, but dude, it's so fun there, and you go out to like the beach and stuff there. Do you guys spend time on the beach, or what is your life like?
Yeah,
there?
I live by the beach, and then we're on the water all the time there. That's like the beauty of that city. You got all that water, you got all those good restaurants. The people are nice. Yeah, it's a pretty sweet spot.
Yeah, and it's good. And you can kind of learn to surf there. People don't realize that you can kind of learn to like baby surf there.
Yeah.
There's just enough little wave action.
Just the perfect little waves. Yeah.
Do you ever get out there on them?
I think I'm too top heavy to surf. I'm more of a bodyboarder. Yeah. You ever seen big heavy dudes try to surf? It's hilarious. It's like Mr. Potato Head body out there trying to surf. The aerodynamics are off. Yep.
Yeah, why don't they have who's coming out with the big boy board? You know, big and tall needs a surfboard. I feel like
this you have to just go all in on the boogie boarding. Like, no, I'm good at this. This is what I'm all about. I could stand up on this thing, but I choose not to.
Dude, but is there anything a little bit dicier than being an adult boogie boarder? Like at a certain point.
Yeah, it's true. You're not going to pick up any new fans doing it.
And the wives are always just standing in the distance, like just waiting,
shaking heads.
Yeah,
like I'm in it for the children. You know, I brought you a present today.
Did you really?
Yeah. I always like to share new products that I find useful in my life, and this is a dick laser.
Oh, damn.
What it is it's like a laser pointer that is a dick that projects dicks.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So if anyone's running their mouth too much in here, look at your shoe. Look what I put on your shoe right there.
Whoa, that's cool. That's pure cock, huh?
It's pure cock. There's some variable settings on there too, I think, where you can kind of change what nasty stuff you put. That's the PG end right there. That's just your light. The other end is where you get the dick right there.
Oh. So this is where you find a suspect like that.
Yeah, and then the other one's where you embarrass him.
Wow, dude, thank you, bro.
Yeah, you're welcome. I think you could use that. Anytime anyone's talking too much in here, you just throw one of those across their forehead and it'll shut them up fast.
Yeah. Or if you see an old guy, you put a limp one on him just to fucking...
I make my cats chase it around the house. It's pretty useful.
Oh, yeah, dude. There's nothing cooler than that, seeing some cats chasing a little cock around. Those are the good old days, you know? Bro, thank you. This is so nice, man. We've had two really neat gifts, and this is definitely one of them.
Cherish it forever.
Very, very sweet of you. Was your neighborhood cool growing up, or was it like in a city? I know you grew up in Georgia. I know that.
I was born in Georgia, but...
you grew up in Virginia, sorry.
Yeah, Virginia. I was born in Georgia, and then we actually spent a few years after that. My dad was a guard in the prison at Lompoc, California. So I lived for a few years on the prison reservation right outside of the prison where like all the people lived whose parents worked in the prison.
What? All the like prison family, like you were there with those children? All types of, I bet it's pretty diverse over there, was it?
It was. Pretty tough crowd. Yeah, it was crazy. And I lived there, and then my dad got transferred to the Federal Bureau of Prisons in D.C., and so that's when we moved to Virginia.
Is it scary being the child of somebody that works at a prison? Like, what's that kind of energy like?
You know what? I didn't really kind of get it until this was like, I'm talking like real little. Like I moved out of there and we were like in kindergarten. But I can remember though, one night the alarms going off and like my dad came in and like rounded me and my sister out and we had to go into their bedroom and shut the door, and I like looked out the window and it was just my dad with the shotgun going outside, jumping in the back of a pickup truck with all my friends' dads. There was like a prison break and they were going to go chase the dudes down. It was like, ooh, this is some real shit right here.
Yeah. Yeah, bro. God, that's cool. Yeah, because I wonder if you did like if your dad, I guess he doesn't bring work home because that would be like having an inmate come over for dinner or whatever.
I think if he brings work home, there's a big problem. Yeah.
We grew up by this, it was like a prosthetic kind of, not factory, I guess. I think it was hoping that like after the war, like prostheticing would scale up or whatever. Mm-hmm. But it never really did. But they had a lot of, they give us like the used, like the fucking, you could get them out back. Sometimes the used ones, the ones that didn't.
Used prosthetics, ones that people didn't want?
Yeah, returns, or ones that were, they didn't, it's not like veneers, but when they just didn't do the edging right on it or something, or the hand was too small for the guy who
pinky
ordered.
Was too sharp. Yeah.
Like, whoa, yeah. Can't even hug my wife with this. Yeah. But we would, you'd have people like, or it would be two middle fingers. Some, Guar fan would get like one with two middle fingers on it. But that was something that was always funny around us because you'd see like people would chase each other with different little appendages, or you'd see fucking somebody, not hit their wife, but throw a hand at her, or
it's
something.
Cool that you knew where to find those rejects. That's good.
It was fun. It just made things fun. Or you see like somebody try to break into a car, but not using their own fingerprints, like try to.
It's brilliant.
Yeah, just type shit like
Commit
that.
crimes. I like it.
Yeah, it was a different time, but yeah, I missed that a lot.
I bet you have influence. You could probably get fake hands with 2 middle fingers still if you wanted to, I bet.
Yeah, that's a good one.
I think somebody could send them your way.
They need that though, dude. Especially with just how the things are going these days. It's like, I think you almost want 2 middles.
Yeah, I feel like with the state of the world, we all definitely need more middle fingers.
Yeah.
We don't have enough.
Do you I know since you live over there in Charleston, do you stay out of like I know that you don't have social media stuff like that. You just keep all that stuff out of your life?
I really do. Yeah, like when we shot Vice Principals, Walton Goggins and like Busy Phillips, they were on there, and they were all they were involved with social media, and they were kind of telling me, you got to get in there, it's awesome. And so I like had an Instagram account for like a matter of a few months and was like, fuck this.
Yeah,
I felt like it was a gateway for just crazy people to be able to reach out and touch. So I just wasn't that. I don't know. It wasn't my deal. Some people I know are amazing at that stuff, but it just didn't feel like a natural fit for me.
Yeah, and so, but it's just good that you like recognize that. Yeah, it's kind of addicting and it makes you feel bad, I think, sometimes. Some things are nice to see because it feels inspirational, but then sometimes you're just like, you're keeping up with this kind of weird void, it feels like.
I liked it purely. The only thing I miss about it is I like seeing bum fights. I like seeing all the schoolyard fights. I like seeing fights. That's what I like to see on there.
Oh yeah, they have everything. They even have gauze on there now, so it's upscaled. It's upscaled a lot. Do you miss like being when I was a kid, like things were dumb, like shit was just, you could be funny all day. You didn't give a shit. Like somebody had noodles or something when you got home, like there was just shit was possible, right?
Somebody had noodles when you got home,
or there was just like everything was gonna kind of be okay. Do you miss like? But I notice as I get older, my brain doesn't even come up with like some of the ideas and stuff that I had when I was a kid, and like, do you notice any of that for yourself? Like that you felt like your humor was different then, or that humor changes as you get older?
I feel like if you're creative, being bored is good sometimes, right? And I feel like sometimes with these phones, with all this information all the time, your brain is just constantly occupied by other people's noise. And so I felt like when I kind of turned that stuff off, I just felt like there was all of this noise that just went away. And then all my stupid ideas could flourish. I could make jokes about noodles. Anything was possible.
Yeah, that's a good call, man. Yeah, it's like, yeah, because maybe sometimes I think that is what I miss. I almost miss feeling, I know this sounds weird, I almost miss feeling dumb a little bit.
Yeah, not knowing about everything that's going on in the world.
Yeah. And not wearing all these things on my face that aren't even of my own life, kind of in a way, Mm-hmm. And I had this weird thought about the other day, like, say if like you're a parent and you're always seeing like these cute things that kids do on TikToks and different things, I wonder if it affects the way a little bit, like if your kid isn't as boisterous or isn't, like, does it like, I don't know, like just, I don't know, I thought about like, it takes almost all of our, like some of our good, our good reactions or the things that are kind of supposed to be reserved for kind of real people in our lives. Does it start to like take those reactions to those people? Does it make any sense?
Yeah, no, it totally does. I feel that you'll see people on there that are going on these beautiful vacations. And you're like, damn, how do they know to go to these places? I don't know this. Like you start comparing all these things in your world to what you see there. I mean, I'm not someone who's like, I'm not against it all. I think that there's also awesome stuff with just anyone being able to have a voice and anyone being able to reach people that have what's it called. But yeah, I think for me, I saw that it probably wasn't going to be the best thing for me, so I just didn't participate.
Fuck, that's brave of you, though. You're almost like damn Christopher Columbus. I feel like you just don't see a lot of it. It's cool, man.
I'm waiting for it to go extinct, and I don't think it ever will. So now I'm just I'm like the Amish, man. I'm just pretending like none of these advancements are there, dude. I'm just in my house making rocking chairs and selling, taffy.
Is that what you do? Or is that what you spend your time? Do you have some good hobbies, actually?
I need to get some hobbies. I don't have good hobbies. I think my hobbies were always like making stuff. Like when I was a kid, I'd make movies or write stuff. And then once that became my job, then people are like, what are you into? It's like, I guess just my job is what I'm into. But that's what's beautiful about Charleston. There, you can get out in that water, you can get outside. And so that stuff is great.
Yeah. Yeah, dude, I had a roommate over there. We would drink so much gin and tonics and just wet the bed all the time over there.
A lot of bedwetters in Charleston. Oh, dude, beautiful.
Yeah. People were like, I'm on the sailing team. It was like, sure you are, brother. You better fucking put a catamaran in between you and your wife, dude. Dude, what was? Oh, you know who I saw yesterday? Speaking of social media, the Rizzler. You ever seen this kid?
Oh, I've seen the Rizzler. Yeah,
dude, I met him in person. Yes. I'm having dinner, right? I was having dinner. I look over, and it's a kid, and you don't want to look for too long because it's like it's just not something you do. And look at him.
Look at him, dude. Oh, and you got a pic with him too. I love it, man.
Bro, I was so excited. And I don't know, but it's kind of weird because you don't want to be like, I'm talking to a kid or whatever, and then. But definitely, dude, I'll say this.
Wait, where were you guys at? Is that Craig's?
I went to Craig's
The
dinner.
Rizzler's just hanging out at Craig's, huh?
Oh, it blew my mind. There was like some guy in there who like had like overdosed on age or something, like some super old guy who's like, I'm a producer, you know? He's like, I produced the Mayflower or whatever. I was like, that was a fucking boat. That was a boat in the 1800s. But yeah, anyway, this is the coolest thing that ever happened. So I was so excited. And not to snitch on him or whatever. First of all, he had 2 Pepsis or whatever past 8 p.m., which I think is.
That's late. The bedtime stories won't work anymore. He'll be up all night. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, that's a little late. And some people say his grades have been suffering. And I'm like, well.
I think he's evolved past grades, right? He's never going to have to learn anything. He's just going to be able to do whatever he wants in this world, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
My son watches all this stuff, so he keeps me up to date on who's who. The Rizzler, he shows me the ways.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was definitely nice. I mean, it was just neat to see him. It was interesting to be impressed by a child, but he's kind of like the Macaulay Culkin of like their generation, it seems like. You know? I mean, maybe that's a reach, but yeah, he was fucking eating at Craig's with some, it was very bizarre. And I asked him a question and he just started doing his arms like that.
Did he do his little move to you? Did he give it to you or no?
I don't think I got it. I think I'm an adult and I shouldn't have really been talking to him. So I think I was a little, and the weird thing is you see all these adults looking at him. It's just got to be so weird to be him.
It does. It's like he's this generation's Shirley Temple.
Yeah, he really is. Yeah, he's an Italian Shirley Temple. But it definitely looks like, I just heard his grades have been suffering. And I even was like the dad, I was like, somebody said he's had issues in social studies. And he looked at his dad like, you've been telling people.
Yeah, why are you talking about my grades?
So that was kind of interesting. My friend and I made a movie. David Spade and I wrote a movie. Thank you for inspiring people to like just kind of create stuff on their own.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, I have some buddies who I think
Steve Little was in it.
Yes, that's great. Did you guys have fun with him?
Oh, he was the best. Maybe him and Chris Elliott were like the best people that came in.
Man, that's great. Yeah, Steve Little is such a good dude. He's so incredibly funny.
Sweet, too.
Sweet and kind. I love him.
He's like just like a teddy bear that's been like not in a halfway house, but definitely like boot camp. Like could have been a wrestler type of energy.
Yes.
But yeah,
and he's fearless. He'll do anything.
He was like just it was awesome just for him to be in there. Did you cast for him? Like, were you the picker for him?
Yeah, I was the picker. Yep. When we wrote the pilot for Eastbound and we had that role, we just went to we went through the regular casting process. And honestly, like as soon as I saw him, then that's like where that character kind of like blew up then. Like there was no intentions when we first wrote that character would be such a big deal in the show, but it was seeing how genuinely funny he was and how cool he was. Then every season just became like, what can we get Steve to do this year? And he never shied away from any of it. He was always game. He'd always take it much further than we ever imagined. He was amazing.
Yeah, he's special. And he drank out of those those little creamer cups. I saw him drink a couple of those in a row.
Me and him went down to Guadalajara, Mexico. I guess it was beginning of last year. I was launching this tequila brand, Don Gato, and I got him to come down there with me, and we shot these ads for it. And after the first day of shooting, I came down to the hotel bar, and he was just there with a pad and paper. And I'm like, what are you doing? He's like, I'm handwriting my mom a letter to tell her how much fun I'm having here. I was like, that's what I love about Steve Little. He handwrites his mom letters. It's a special person who does that.
Yeah. He definitely seems like a hug that got left somewhere but rescued.
That's right.
Yeah, we texted a little bit after. I got to touch base with him and say, hey, but that was just crazy. And it's just crazy. Like you see people and you're like, oh, this works for casting, because we would have friends that would send in videos and some of them are like audition tapes. And then you're like, oh man, that's my friend, but it just doesn't fit for this thing. It's just not the right fit. Yeah. It's like, it's super specific kind of to watch, because I used to just put in audition tapes and I would never get booked for anything. And I was like, but then this time we're getting the videos in because we're doing the casting. You're like, oh, first of all, I see why I never got anything. Like my shit was fucking very obtuse. But then you'd have friends that would send a role and you're like, oh, this is almost perfect, or this would be kind of risky, but it might be adventurous. That was probably one of the most fun things I think about creating something.
Yeah, that casting is definitely fun because stuff can just take a new life on. And you're right, it's one of those deals where someone can be really good and you can kind of tell instantly whether it's the right fit or not even based on their talent, but like whatever ideas you had in mind for what that character looked like or how they talked. And you can kind of tell instantly when someone comes in like, yep or nope, and I think that's a hard gig, man. I've been lucky that I have like tried to write most of the things that I've done, but just being an actor has to show up constantly and put yourself out there in that way. It's tough, man. It is hard.
And drive over there and be depressed while you're driving over there, trying to do your lines and be in traffic.
Sitting in a lobby where it's a bunch of dudes who look kind of like you. Sucks.
Yeah. Oh God, dude. Yeah, that was some of the tough. Like I did that for probably 6 or 7 years, probably, and I never had any hope that I was gonna. I almost did it. I think I don't even know why I was doing it. I think you're just in LA. Also, when you're young enough, you have the energy to do it. With Fistfoot Way, you didn't write that, right? Jody Hill wrote it.
Me and Jody wrote it together.
You wrote it together. And you guys shot that on Super 16 or no?
Super 16. Yep.
Okay, and you made that without going through SAG and stuff, right?
No, it was totally independent. I think we shot it for about $70,000. Shot it in like a little less than 3 weeks, and it was all just buddies. Everyone just came down there to do it, and it was. Jody and I had both lived in LA for a few years at that point, and neither of us had found like any real success, and so it was sort of a Hail Mary of just like, all right, let's just see if we can kind of do this on our own.
And what do you notice that's easier about doing a film like that or doing something where you have to go through all the where everything is more guilds and all of that?
If you're at a place where you can afford the guilds, then you already have a leg up. You're already kind of in the zone. That thing there was like, there's no one trying to help us make it. There's no one, they don't care about it not being the guilds because they just don't ever think it'll see the light of day. So, every bit of that is a fight because not only do you have to kind of get the resources and figure out how to do it and how to talk people into coming and doing it when there's no upside for them. But then even once it's done, there's no guarantee that anything will ever happen with it, And so I think that can be pretty discouraging for people sometimes.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. Like we made this movie and now we're figuring out like we wrote it and everything, we funded it ourselves. So it's super scary because you're like, all you really have right now is this piece of debt kind of.
Yeah.
But then it's like too long right now. It's just like we got to figure it out. It just seems like I don't know. The whole thing's been super fascinating.
Yeah, it's a crazy process. And now especially the entertainment industry's changes so much and it's all risk, it seems like these days. Yeah.
Do you envy things about the entertainment industry right now, like as opposed to whenever you kind of first got into it?
You know what I find interesting is like I went to film school in North Carolina. That's where I met Jody Hill and a lot of the guys I work with. And, in the 90s, there was just like such a healthy, independent like film market. I mean, you were going to film school and you're seeing guys like Tarantino and, Kevin Smith and all these dudes are just like making stuff that's pretty simple and it's not requiring massive budgets and they're finding audiences. And so it was inspiring. You felt like you could do it, like you were like anyone could do it. And it's kind of funny that it was much harder to make an independent film then. I mean, you had to shoot on film. You had to there was all these elements of things that were super expensive.
Oh, yeah.
And it seems kind of crazy that with technology, it should be easier than ever to make something independent, but it feels like the market is like not as healthy as it used to be. And it's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, I think, but something new will come out of it, right? That's how you kind of think, like, how does this evolve? What happens next? That sort of thing. Was there a movie that you like that you made, that you wrote, or a role or some little piece of something that you wanted to do that once you started to get a little older? Because I'm like, fuck, this thing would have been great like 7 years ago. I think I could have pulled it off, but now it's just, like, do you ever think like that? Like, was there something you had? You're like, fuck, now I'm gonna have to cast somebody to do it instead of do it.
It's so hard writing stuff that most of the time when I have written something, it's been with the intention of going and making it. I only have a few things that I've written that I didn't kind of move on, but most of them were just because it wasn't any good and it wasn't something to kind of pursue. But luckily, all the stuff I've really put my energy into, I've been able to see it to fruition in some way or another.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because that's what I think about. Like I had this idea for this thing. It was like Sinkhole Baby, right? Like a guy, like the sole survivor of a sinkhole, right?
Yeah, Sinkhole Baby.
In a small town, right? And people are like, they fucking love him because he made it because God picked him. and at the cafe, they even have they'll have like a little oatmeal there, but they put a raisin in it, like at the town cafe.
That's Sinkhole Baby.
That's him, yeah.
Wait, and so you think that you've gotten too old to be Sinkhole Baby now?
Well, but then what happens is, it creates a lot of hype when something happens to you that you didn't plan, right? Like suddenly you're a celebrity, but how do you live up to that in a small town when you didn't really do anything? When really God did it with gravity, and now you have to fucking live like the repercussions of being Sinkhole Baby. And then you go on tour with like other people like Hit by Lightning Guy and fucking,
I think you need to make this, dude. There's a story here. Look at this.
I just feel sometimes like I'm just getting a little too old.
Hey, man, you're never too old to be a Sinkhole Baby. That's one thing I've learned in this world.
Really? You think that?
Yeah, I believe that.
And I think I don't know what the second half of it is sometimes.
You got to go back in that sinkhole. You left your phone in there. You got to get back in there. Your buddy was left behind. Got to get his body. Got to bring it up. And then at the end, you go to the cafe and they put 2 raisins on top of that. Yeah. That's how you win in the end.
All right, folks. If you've got a little itch for some Bitcoin or you're trying to dip your toe into that crypto pond, then listen up because I've got something for you. Let me introduce you to MoonPay, the smoothest, easiest way to buy and sell crypto. Just use what you've already got. Your credit card, debit, PayPal, hell, even Venmo. That's right. MoonPay's making crypto easier than ordering a pizza. And look, crypto's been on a heater, man. Everybody knows that, baby. It's moonbound. If you've been thinking about stacking some digital coins, then MoonPay has got your back. MoonPay is not just another player. They've been around the block and have the experience to make buying crypto as smooth as a freshly paved road. I've had a rocky relationship with crypto. I've been in, I've been out, I've been in and out. I've been hokey and pokey with my finances in crypto. But MoonPay has brought me back. And if you're wondering, is MoonPay safe? Buddy, it's safer than Fort Knox. It's safer than some really tight underwear. So if you're looking to jump into crypto, there's no better space or place than MoonPay. Head over to moonpay.com/THEO, or you can access them in any of your favorite crypto wallets, such as Exodus, Phantom, MetaMask, or Trust Wallet. This isn't financial advice. Trading crypto carries risk, and you could lose your investment. MoonPay is here to facilitate, not advise. Same as myself. I'm hydrated, I'll say it, and I use Liquid IV. That's how I do it. Just 1 stick packet of Liquid IV. I open up a bottle of water. I pour just a touch out, just a sip. For the hydrators that aren't here, pour a little out for them. And then I pour that packet in, put the lid on, shake it up, and douse myself with that thick, good liquid. They have true-to-fruit flavors that keep you hydrated, like raspberry lemonade, white peach, my favorite, and rainbow sherbet. Liquid IV, Hydroscience, provides an optimized ratio of electrolytes, essential vitamins, and clinically tested nutrients that turn ordinary water into extraordinary hydration. Break the mold and own your ritual. Just 1 stick and 16 ounces of water hydrates better than water alone. Treat yourself to extraordinary hydration from Liquid IV. Get 20% off your first order of Liquid IV when you go to liquidiv.com and use code THEO at checkout. That's 20% off your first order with code THEO at liquidiv.com. Stay hydrated. I'm dried out right now. Better get some. Do you see Shane Gillis sometimes? Have you seen him?
Oh, yeah. I love Shane.
Have you gotten to meet him or no?
I have. Yeah, we helped him produce Tires, his show he does for Netflix. You helped him produce it? Yeah. Yep,
oh, I didn't even know that.
Yep.
Yeah, because it's so funny that I think there's times when I see him and I'm like, oh, there's something about him that it's not but there's something about the way he is.
He's himself. He's himself, not polished and just kind of shooting from the hip, That's good. I think people respond to it. I think they like seeing that.
Yeah. Yeah. He's a special guy. And he just like one look, he's like,
yep.
And you're in, dude.
Yeah, he makes me laugh.
He does, man. He makes everybody laugh. It's good, and it's cool to see him. Like, Tires was kind of a comedy that I think kind of changed things because there's jokes in there that I feel like they wouldn't put on Netflix 10 years ago or even 5 years ago.
Yeah.
And now it's changing. Do you feel some of that?
I feel like we've always tried to push it in everything that we've done. I know people are like, oh, you can't make comedies about this, that anymore. But, even when we made Eastbound and Down, it wasn't like they were asking for that. It wasn't like people were like, we need like a racist baseball player that cusses at kids and does cocaine. There wasn't like like an ad in the trades for it. I think that you come in, you make something funny, and then that's what, that starts new trends. That makes people gravitate towards it. I think that obviously you see people getting in trouble for saying fucked up shit, but I also I feel like it's very rarely do you see people get in trouble for actually like making something that is, I think people get in trouble sometimes rightfully so for saying bad shit, but I can't really think of where people really get in trouble for like making something that pushes the lines. Maybe I'm like forgetting things, but I kind of feel like a lot of times people just want their ass to be kissed. And I think when you make something that pushes the boundaries, everyone's not going to kiss your ass. People will get upset about it, and you have to be cool with that being part of what goes with pushing the boundaries, is that those boundaries are going to sometimes push back on you, and that's just part of the deal.
Yeah, I almost relate to when you're saying that. It makes me feel like if you tweet something, you're just saying something. You're looking for controversy. It's like, But if you go out and make put out a conversation of something, then the response from people is different.
It is.
Like tweet, people just argue. There's all type of shit. But you go and actually put a conversation out, then it is more of like discussion, and people at least respect that you had the conversation.
I think so. I think that's what it is. Obviously, you can be judged on whether it's good or not, but that's a different thing than whether if you're just putting something out there that's problematic and people get mad about it. It feels like that's honestly what you're asking for, right? When people put something out there that's controversial, it's made to have people start fighting, right? Isn't that part of how the whole thing works?
I think so. Yeah, Shane just did SNL. Did you get to see any of it?
I did. I saw a couple beers. That's pretty funny shit. Good, I need a couple beers in my personal life. I think I will fix a lot of things.
Oh, yeah. I fucking used to overdose over there in Charleston, especially on Halloween. Dude, one year I made out with 3 ladybugs, dude.
Oh, just the creatures, the ladybugs, the actual insects? Or
people dressed as them.
Oh, perfect. And then you wet the bed and went sailing after that? Perfect. That's a perfect night out in Charleston.
That's the Charleston Decathlon right there, dude. Oh, yeah. Everything in Charleston seemed haunted. Shane just did SNL. You ever hosted SNL?
I've never hosted SNL.
Did you get asked to do? Did you not want to, or was it a thing? Or is
there
any real gravity there, or am I just slurping around? Because I'll fucking shine this dick on myself if you need me to.
You can. You shine there. You know what? I love SNL. I grew up watching it, and one of the first movies I ever did was Hot Rod, which was produced by Lorne Michaels. And when we were shooting Hot Rod, I met Bill Hader and Andy Samberg and Akiva and Yorma and all those guys, and they were just coming off their first year of SNL, and so it was cool. I liked those guys, and Lorne had actually kind of prodded me to see if I was interested in joining the cast, but it was the same exact week that we sold Eastbound and Down. And so I was like, as much as I'm flattered, this is what I'm going to go off and do. And then none of them ever talked to me ever again after that.
God, yeah. Well, after seeing Kenny Powers, how do you think Kenny Powers would pitch against some of today's hitters, do you think?
I think he would have to juice it up, dude. He would. He would have to. Don't you think? I feel like there should just be a special league for just all the dudes who juice it up, right?
Bring it up. There's Olympics that start. There's a new dope Olympics they're starting up.
I love it. That's a great idea.
The Trump Sun is starting up, which is kind of fucking perfect.
Is it really? It's an enhanced games, what they call it?
Enhanced games, brother.
Oh, dude.
Which is that's also what I call my erection a lot of times.
This is something else.
Yeah, because I'm on those pills, but a group led by Donald Trump Jr. is infusing funding and some political muscle into the enhanced games.
And so what's the thought process here? That this will sort of, anybody who wants to dope it up will stay out of the regular leagues, and they'll gravitate towards this? Is that what it is?
Come over here. Yeah, it says he's offering $1 million for the first sprinter to break the 100-meter world record. Can you imagine some guy the rest of his body's falling off?
No, they cross the finish line, their hearts explode. That's what happens if you win. Yep. Wow. How do you train for these events? I can't wait to see. It's just going to be superhumans leaping over houses.
Well, I'll tell you how you train in our town. You would meet up with the guy behind the Winn-Dixie and get some Test 200. First of all, you would hide it from your wife and have to pull over on the side of the interstate and shoot. And you and your buddy, who have been like talking about who commonly refer to against gay folks, have to pull over and shoot it into each other's rear ends.
Yeah, and then all your hair falls out and zits start forming on your back, and your wife is like, "What is going on? What happened to you?"
But you're ready for the three-legged race with your buddy.
To do it. Yeah, I like that. Okay.
That's what matters.
I'll tune in. I'm in.
You have your last season of Gemstones?
Last season of Gemstones. I live in Charleston like we talked about, but so I've been out in LA this week, just running around, running my mouth. This is my last day of running my mouth. It's wonderful.
Oh, thank you, man. It really is
cool. Save the best for last.
Well, it's nice of you to say that and lie to me, but I will say that I waited in line one time to get a photo with you, like probably maybe 10 years ago somewhere.
Really? Where?
I think it was at Comic-Con.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Shit.
It's pretty cool.
I know people, when this show first started, I think everyone thought you were on the show. They always thought you were Tony Cavallero.
Oh, yeah. Tony's a buddy of mine.
Yeah, you guys had that similar vibe, I think. I actually, honestly, when the first season came out, I remember I met with a reporter and they asked me what it was like to work with Theo Von.
Did they?
Yeah, and I was like, that's not Theo Von.
Oh, I've had people come up to me and think I'm in the Gemstones 20 times. I'll play along with it. This dude's so awesome, man. Tony's one of the greats.
I love
Tony. He's such a
Tony.
sweet guy.
He really is. He's incredible.
Somebody put our face right there. I didn't even notice that. Look at that one. No wonder some people think this shit.
Oh, look at you, dude. Look at you.
And that's Trevor Wallace. That's hilarious. These days, you don't even know.
This is the magic of AI. Look at that. I'd buy it.
I know. Wow. And very similar chests.
And very similar.
Yeah. How do you...
I'm just noticing how much more ripped Tony is now. Like, he was always strong, but goddamn, that dude got really strong over the last few years.
Yeah, well, he just has such a
him and Devon oftentimes when we're shooting down Charleston, those guys have the same schedule, and so every day that they're not working, they're just fucking pumping iron together.
Are they?
Just getting strong, spotting each other. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, I remember they had a gay fella in our town. He was a drug dealer. So everybody wanted drugs. So also that's how you also kind of like met gay guys, you know, or at the first time. So it was
they
really
had the cool treats.
Right. It was like, dude, yeah, these guys are fucking. But I think it did a lot for our town because some people who may not have like kind of like, you know, branched out more, you know, or just like had more questions. Suddenly you were sitting there high as hell.
Yeah.
And then more gay people started kind of like.
Drugs are the great equalizer, right?
Oh, yeah.
It crosses every boundary known.
Oh, God, yes. Were the real life pastors that you used that you sent your gemstone pastors like John Goodman and Baby Billy? Do you send them? Like, did you have them reflect on guys, or did you go watch? Did you get some front row tickets to some Osteen, or what were you doing?
You know what? A lot of it was just like watching videos and stuff, and then actually kind of went around and I did it. I interviewed a few different pastors just before I told them what I was making a show about, and just, you know, for my own ideas, my own insight. And people were responsive. They talked to me. You know, my aunt, she actually sadly passed away just a few weeks ago, but she was a minister. So I talked to her a lot about the church and
really, what kind of church did she minister at?
I feel like she was it was in Atlanta, and it wasn't a mega church, but it was one of those sort of these you know, churches that can pop up in shopping centers and not look like your typical church. And she kind of moved into counseling after that as well. But you know, I grew up in a household that was pretty religious. My mom was she did like puppet ministry when I was a child. She would like do the children's sermons and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
And do they hide behind someone to do that? Is you out front? It's
like a little. We had this like PVC pipe frame with felt over it.
Yeah.
And then they'd hide behind there, and my mom had like boxes of these puppets, and she would drum up these little scripts, and you know,
mostly Bible characters.
No, sometimes there would be, but sometimes they would just be these characters, and they would have to learn Bible lessons. You know,
God, that's crazy, bro. It was like characters like suddenly Paul Revere's in one of the scenes.
Yes, exactly. But it was
that's
you know, so
cool.
I grew up with all that stuff. So yeah, that's the kind of shit we do right there. That was it.
Oh, this is great, huh?
Yep.
And oh my God, yeah. And the guy on the right, obviously,
Yeah, he's learning stuff. He's learning about he's singing a song about sinkhole baby, you know, and about how Jesus raised him up out of the sinkhole, made him into a little raisin.
Oh, that's cool, man. Yeah, I'm trying to think if we had any puppet, no, what did we have? We had a guy who was missing one finger. Puppeting's a lot of shoulder work. People don't think about that.
Got to have a lot of upper body strength.
Yeah. That's the French bulldog of
you stay like that.
the trauma region. Yeah, you're really building those shoulders. Is your mom pretty proud of you? What's you guys' relationship like?
We're good. We're strong. She moved, they lived in Virginia, and then when we moved down to Charleston, she moved there. My wife's from Los Angeles. You know, I met her out here. I was here for like 20 years. And so when I convinced her to move to Charleston with us, figured it was only right. Me, her, and the kids come down. Her mom, who's Angelino, she moved down there too. So now for the first time in my life, I have I live in the same town as my parents. And yeah, it's kind of wild.
Wow. Yeah. That's so cool, dude. You got to capture the whole dream. I think that's everybody's dream. I'm going to go. I'll show them. I'll move. I'll have the girl. I'll have the family. You know,
it's been nice, man. I always feel grateful for what we get to do, and but the fact that like this show, all the shows we've done, I've made it with all my buddies that I met in college. You know, guys I met when I was 18 years old. We're smoking weed together in the dorm rooms, talking about movies and all this shit, and now 25 years later, we're all still doing the same stuff. It's kind of awesome.
Yeah, I wonder. I would like to get to meet a wife sometime soon. Where did you meet your wife? At a certain location?
I met her. She was like a friend of my neighbor when I lived at this shitty apartment over in West Hollywood. And so it was just kind of one of those things where you don't have any money to go to any of these expensive bars or clubs when you're in your early 20s out here. And,
unless you're the fucking Rizzler,
huh? Except you're the Rizzler. You're going to Craig's, dude. Drinking 2 Pepsis after 9. Living that high life.
I didn't want to say anything, but yeah, his grades are down, but the money's up, That's his fucking life.
Yeah, I know. I've had that, moving. I went to college in North Carolina and moved here in '99, and man, this is a tough city to come into with nothing. It's hard living. I feel like when you get out here and you're waiting tables and PAing and just doing all this stuff, making no money, and
it hurts.
You can't go do anything, and every girl that's your age is dating someone who's 15 years older and
dating
successful.
Aerosmith or something.
It's tough.
And they take a girl on a world tour, and then you're like, I'm supposed to take her where for a walk? And how am I even going to compete? Dude, I remember on my birthday, I got out here. I've been out for like a year, and I bought a used refrigerator, right? I was saving. When I finally went and looked at the price, I was probably saving $60, right? Nightmare. Had to borrow somebody's truck to go get it out towards Reseda, get it back home on my birthday. I spent my whole birthday doing this. I get it over to the door of our apartment, and it will not go in. It's just a little too wide. So now I have to take the fucking doors. I remember sitting against the wall crying. Yeah. I was on steroids, but I was also sitting there dude, parking spots were too small. You couldn't get out. You get a ticket and you would ding. Everything about LA was fucking impossible.
Yeah, and it felt too like when the city could be against you, like parking tickets, stuff like that. I mean, it just felt like when your day was bad, that's always when you would come out and there'd be a boot on your car and it would just get worse and worse and worse. And that's the other thing is, when you're kind of living on the edge like that, it feels like no one gives a shit either. Like people would walk over you, and if you were laying on the ground bleeding, it was tough.
Did you ever do stand up too, or no?
I never did stand up. No, I mean,
you desire to? You think?
I didn't really. Honestly, I didn't even really have any ambitions to be an actor. It's like I went to film school to write and to make. I always kind of imagined I would just be behind the camera and.
And that's true 100%?
100%, yeah. I mean, I didn't have any ambitions of trying to be an actor at all. David Green, who was another classmate of mine, he made this movie called All the Real Girls.
Bring it up.
It's a beautiful film about first love in Appalachia.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, but he had an actor who backed out of the show at the last minute, and it was an independent movie, and he just asked me to come down and play the role because he didn't have time to cast somebody else. And it was the very first time I ever acted in anything. And after Jody saw it, he wanted to make a movie, and he was like, well, you're the only person we know who's been in something, so it's funny that we thought that was a leg up. Just that dude right there we thought would somehow get something made.
Dude, it's so crazy though when you go from an idea like, even with this movie, like
it was all emails, and then we show up one day on set, and there was a real movie going on. Dude, I had to sit down for a while. I was like, oh my God, I thought everybody was just fucking around. Like, and then it was a real movie, and there's like people, and people don't know what they're doing, and people do know what they're doing. People are yelling, and but it was like, oh my God, this is really it. And then you realize it's so hard to make something really too, because so many little things happen. Like, we got pushed by the fire for a week, and it was like, suddenly that changes everything. And you don't know if people are, and then we had to shoot one day, the day with Steve Little, where it's like the winds were 40 miles an hour. We can't afford to reshoot. So it's like, fucking pretend that the winds aren't 40 miles an hour.
We had the same thing on Gemstones here. I mean, that's what a lot of this stuff becomes, it becomes surrounding yourself with just strategists, like people on your team that just know how to solve problems, because that's what 100% what all making anything is you got your idea of what it's going to be, and then every day it's dealing with something that's coming your way to make it less than what you want it to be.
Yeah.
And you got to figure out how to navigate it. Yeah, when we shot the season of Gemstones, right near the end, like there's this like pretty specific location to this season, and I fought really hard to be able to get in this place and shoot there, but we only had limited time. And the night before we had to shoot like the last scene of the entire series, Hurricane Helena comes through that part of Carolina and just like decimated everything. And this location that we're at, it's like 100-mile-per-hour winds, no power. And it's like, there's no alternative. We have to shoot this thing. You have to just do it. So it's like, well, once these hurricane force winds die down, maybe we'll try to get some extension cords and finish this thing off. And that's exactly what we did. It was crazy.
Damn, yeah. I think it's interesting no matter what level things are at, if you're doing something in your backyard and you and your brother plan to shoot something, and then halfway through his attitude changes and he goes in the house.
Yeah.
It's like it's always, and that ruins whatever your little plan was. It's always something, right?
Yeah.
There's always something that's going to show up. How do you know when a show is done like this?
I wasn't sure with this. I mean, I've been really lucky with HBO that they've always been real supportive of the stuff I want to do, and they're awesome partners to have in this. And man, I think it kind of just came as we started writing this season. To me, it just felt like it. I felt like when I was starting to write it, like everything I was kind of gravitating towards was like about closure and sort of wrapping up these characters like longer stories. And so I kind of kept myself open while we were shooting, like in case I got any other ideas of like maybe I'd come back and do another one. But as we kind of shot more and more, it felt like it was the end. It felt like it. Yeah. And I don't know. TV is one of those things too where it's a strange art form, because if it's good, the reward is you just get to keep doing it and doing it and doing it. But sometimes that doesn't necessarily make for the best story, just to have, all right, this is like the 10th time these characters have almost died.
Like Lost or whatever, that show.
Yeah, where things can overstay their welcome. And, I mean, people are getting hit with so many things these days. Like there's so many things vying for your attention. It's a lot to ask an audience to like stick with the show for 10 years or something. You know what I mean? And just think that your tastes in 10 years will be the same as it was when the first season came out. So for me, I didn't want to stay in it longer than we needed to. I never wanted to make it something where it didn't matter. I always kind of wanted to make sure it was relevant and something we were all having fun doing, and never kind of evolve into something that just feels like a job.
Yeah. Was there something special that you like to do for your crew and stuff like that? Like you talk so much about like the guys that work for you and work with you. I'm sure you use a lot of the same crew and stuff too, because you develop relationships. You know how people are going to work. You know what people will be there for you on those. When it's 1 a.m. and you're like, what the fuck are we going to do right now? What's something you like to do for them? I've heard that you do nice things for them.
Yeah, we just like to party. To me, I feel like it's one of those deals. We like to rock and roll. But I do feel like especially living down there. When you're asking people to come work on the show, you're asking them to like leave their lives, leave the comfort of their homes, sometimes leave their spouse or their partner, and come down there for 6 months to come work with you. I've been on stuff where I've been on location, and it's sort of like, yeah, good luck, buddy. You're just kind of end up, you don't know anybody. You're sitting in a hotel room. It's the worst. And so I always just try to
at a Westin.
Yeah, exactly. I just try to avoid that. I mean, obviously everyone's different. People want their own. Sometimes people want to be left alone in the Westin, but I try to just make everybody feel like they're at home when they come there. Like try to make them have a good time. And ultimately, it's like for me, it's the whole idea that we get to make this shit is so much fun. Like I don't even watch these things after we're done. I don't even go back and watch any of this stuff again. My experience with it is like the act of making it. That feels like the climax to me. I oversee like every cut of this show and in post. But yeah, once this stuff like is done, I'm kind of done with it. It kind of feels, even the old movies from Pineapple to Tropic, it's like, I'll see them at the premiere, and then I oftentimes just will never even see them again. You know, I'll see clips of things online and be like, "Oh, that's crazy! I remember that."
Yeah.
But I don't know. I have a lot of fun making this stuff. I like collaborating with people, like you were saying, those problems that come up, solving that stuff, that feeling of accomplishment when you do sort of dodge a bullet. Like that's the excitement and the fun for me.
Yeah, I notice I don't like the acting part. I notice I like the giving somebody an idea and be like, not telling the other actors and stuff and be like, try this, dude.
Yeah, and then seeing what that creates. Yeah, that's the beauty of it all.
Yeah, we had this one moment, like Spade is like taking this dog for a ride because the company, he works for this company called Last Lap. They give dogs rides like they're about to be euthanized or whatever. He gives them a couple more spins around town, you know, in his car.
That's nice. That's a nice thing to do.
Yeah, sweet guy. So he pulls up and then it's like, Kirk Fox, you know who he is? Mm-hmm. Kirk Fox pulls up next to him in a truck, and Kirk's just been like looting in the area, I guess, at a stoplight. And he's like, "What do you guys get anything good?" He's like, "Yeah, we just got a hot lead on John Bonet's wedding dress, right?"
And that came from your dome. That was out of your pocket.
Snuck over just like a fucking like a fucking Navy SEAL. I just put this little fucking. I just shined that cock right in his soul, and then I went off and hid in the distance. And that's what I noticed. That's the only thing I always loved. I always liked, even when we were a kid, like we would go like not getting molested, what's called camping with people's dads, right? And
getting molested. No, you were right. The first thing you said was right.
It was like Cub Scouts or whatever. But I remember one time we left and I told everybody that Jay Leno had died, right? And you couldn't check back then. Mm-hmm. So the whole weekend you would hear the dads talking about it and kind of reminiscing about Leno and some of their favorite guests and shit. And I would be in my tent laying down, just crying out of my fucking little penis. I was crying out of laughing so fucking hard.
Man, that kind of stuff was Boy Scout camps. I went to a Boy Scout camp when I was a kid, and I remember it was like we had our Cub Master was one of the kids' dads, and it was him with 12 boys, and we're camping. And he just got, over the course of the week, he just got stranger and stranger. And at one point, he just kind of like left the camp for a while, and it had been a bit since he'd been back there. And every night we would always notice that he'd go into his tent and he would just like lay down and put these headphones on and just kind of lay there. And so I was so curious, like, what is this motherfucker listening to? And I'm probably like 12 years old. And when he was gone, I snuck into his tent and I picked up his headphones and I put it on and hit play. They were like messages from his wife talking about how he was a good man and like, it made me terrified of the rub. Like, let's just get me home. This guy's sitting in here just like listening to his wife pump him up and with these 12 boys in the woods.
Oh my God. That's so sweet of her to make all that.
Why did he need it though? Like, that's what it was like. It seemed like the tires were about to fall off. He
Probably keeping him off the end of a fucking rope, dude. That's crazy, dude.
I almost got sent home from that camp too because I pulled a knife on a kid. Not for real.
No, of course
but
not.
I had that. When you're that age and you have your little knives, your little Boy Scout knives, you're constantly playing with it. And I guess this other troop walked past us and I'd pulled that knife out and they thought I was like fucking threatening someone, and I had to go into the office and explain myself, and I got my knife taken away for the rest of the week.
Yeah, dude, there was something I remember like when I was a kid, we'd get one thing we would do for fun. I remember the mosquito truck would come by and we'd get on our bikes and fucking ride behind it and just huff the gas.
Just get high.
Bro, we would be fucking cooked, dude. Just like unbelievable.
A trail of dead mosquitoes around. Everybody's singing.
Bro, yeah. Dude, if I went near a bird, it would die after that. Like anything that could fucking hit the airwaves was dead. I couldn't even pick up AM radio, bro. I was like, anything that could fly that was something fun. I remember being in the woods and somebody would say like, I saw something, and then you would run. The fear that you didn't see anything, somebody did, and they started to leave, and suddenly you were alone. Even if you were one step alone in the woods from your friend, it was like, it's going to get me. There was
the
like
unknown. Yeah, we used to.
That was the best.
I grew up in Virginia, and it was a neighborhood that was like brand new. It was like in the 80s. And like, so it was all woods and stuff and all construction. It was all like, they were just building one of those big subdivisions. And we were like one of the first houses in there. And so me and my friends would just have like the run of that place. I mean, we were constantly doing that, but there was like this one construction site and we were young. This is probably like 4th or 5th grade. We would just like go there at nighttime and just like take all their lumber and their shit and go make ramps and go build tree houses. And there was this one house that we kept doing it to, and it was a construction site, and we built like a tree fort with all the wood. And I guess the guys who were building the house found out where it was at, and we came out to our tree fort, and they had like ripped everything down. They had like taken it all down. So then that next day, we went to that place, and we fucking destroyed that house. We took cinder blocks and threw it through the walls. We were like these 4th graders thinking we're just going to show these guys what's up.
Wow, there's some family that has to stay at
just no sense. But it was like we took it personal, like how we stole that lumber fair and square.
Yeah.
Like
these they're gonna
on our Diamondback, freestyle bikes, our BMX bikes, just thinking we ran that shit. Yeah.
Dude, I was trying. We had a glitter. I don't know if it was a glitter truck. I think it was a glitter truck that toppled over like in the interstate near us, and it was like kind of a windy time of year, and our fucking town had glitter in the area for 2 years.
In your lungs, everywhere.
I mean, you couldn't even. You'd meet somebody and half of them would fucking.
They're shining.
It's crazy, dude. Those are good days. It is crazy how if you have a construction site, if you're building a house, if any kids in the neighborhood, all they do is get in there and break shit.
They have no concept of like someone's paid money for this. Someone's waiting to move their family in. It just is looked at as like this doesn't matter. No one lives here, so we can do what we want.
God, those are the best times, man. I enjoy using acorns. I enjoy setting it up. I got it set up for my nieces and nephews. It just to help them start to save, right? To recognize and look at money and finances and just have it be a part of their existence. Acorns is a financial wellness app that makes it easy to start saving and investing for your future. You don't need to be an expert. Acorns will recommend a diversified portfolio that matches you and your money goals. You don't need to be rich. Acorns lets you get started with the spare money you've got right now, even if all you've got is spare change. That's what I like about it for my nieces and nephews. If they spend a little bit of money, the change goes into their savings. So they start to recognize, they start to get an idea of how to use savings. Right now with Acorns, you can sign up and join the over 14 million all-time customers who have already saved and invested over $25 billion with Acorns. Plus, Acorns will boost your new account with a $20 bonus investment. Offer available at acorns.com/THEO. That's acorns.com/Theo to get your $20 bonus investment today. I can't recommend them more. Paid non-client endorsement. Compensation provides incentive to positively promote Acorns. Tier 4 compensation provided. Investing involves risk. Acorns Advisors, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. View important disclosures at acorns.com/THEO. You know, I'm still recovering from 2024. Jeepers. I don't know how, what? I still am. I know it's March. I know it's my April. Here I am. That's just who I am. Life in general can be chaotic. But if you're in charge of order fulfillment for an e-commerce business, you know that's its own special kind of chaos. But with ShipStation, you can count on your day-to-day remaining calm. Save hours and money every month by shipping from all your stores with one login, automating repetitive tasks, and finding the best rates among all the global carriers. Using ShipStation helps us get packages in and out. We got to get some of this, some of that. Celsius is sending a new, we got to get merch, boom, ShipStation. They're there. You never need to upgrade. ShipStation grows with your business no matter how big it gets. Calm the chaos of order fulfillment with the shipping software that delivers. Switch to ShipStation today. Go to ShipStation.com and use code Theo to sign up for your free trial. That's ShipStation.com, code THEO. Yeah, that's the stuff that I think sometimes about getting older. It's like, do you ever start to think like that you only get to do so many things? Does that start to become a thing in your head at all? I mean, you've been, so proclivative or whatever it's called, but
prophylactics.
Yeah, you've been so prophylactics, and But do you ever start to think about that? Like, shit, I gotta, or is it kind of like, I know I've had a good amount of time to make what I've wanted?
I sense it with my kids. When I was living out here in Los Angeles, like we lived up off of Mulholland, and my son was like, he was like in kindergarten. He's starting to like, he's like, I want to learn to ride a bike. And I'm like, why? You're never going to be able to like ride a bike up here on Mulholland, And I started seeing that. I'm like, oh, he's not going to have the same experiences I had, that level of freedom of just kind of like coming home from school, dropping your book bag off and just like taking off until the sun went down. And that stuff is important, that little bit of independence. I kind of kept feeling like every time he got to play with somebody, there was always like me and my wife having to like orchestrate it and sit there in the background watching them play. And,
yeah.
And that was kind of honestly like the main reason why I wanted to move back to the South is I just kind of wanted to go somewhere where he could, unleash. He could get on a bike and have a little bit of freedom and kind of have that, It feels like you can always move to the big city, but it's definitely harder if you're a city boy to kind of like go back, go somewhere small. So I kind of wanted them to have a little bit of that sort of life, a little taste of that,
Yeah.
And then, because like you said, it goes by quick, it's pretty soon, you can't just go destroy a construction site without ending up in prison. I wanted him to be able to go destroy some construction sites and just get a slap on the wrist.
Yeah, some drywall. Yeah, I wanted him to fucking beat up some drywall. Yeah, I moved to Nashville a few years ago, and I like it over there. I just live in like a regular neighborhood. My neighbors are just like, as a soccer coach, it's like it's neat, I like it. It's more peaceful. It feels just like a very small city.
Yeah, Nashville's fun. I like it down there. I think it's cool.
It's fun over there, definitely. And it's like Chattanooga's fucking great. You been there?
I haven't been there.
God, dude.
It's fun, huh?
Yeah, it's just like there's like mountains, whitewater rafting. Everything you wish was in Nashville that isn't.
Yeah.
And it's smaller, feels good.
Oh, I got to go over there. I'd never even been to Nashville until we moved to Charleston. I think my wife and I were just like looking for what was a quick trip away, and Nashville is so close that we saw it. But I think it's fun down there. So Chattanooga, though, I got to check that out, huh?
Chattanooga's beautiful, man. They have this beautiful walking bridge where you walk. It's like it used to be a bridge, but they shut it down or whatever because it couldn't bridge anymore or whatever. So basically it's just like
it stopped bridging.
Yeah, it's just like a brave road really at that point. But they turned it into a walking bridge, and so they built like a newer one next to it. And but just the whole area is awesome, man. It's beautiful. They have a place called Lookout Mountain there where you can see like 7 states or something from it.
Wow.
A lot of Civil War shit. If you're big into Civil War reenactments and shit,
Yep.
like my buddy's dad used to referee those and shit, so we'd go watch those a lot. And like, so I love that kind of shit.
Me
dude.
too.
I love a fucking cannon, dude.
I love Civil War stuff too. I grew up in, after we left California, I grew up. I spent most of my time in Fredericksburg, Virginia, and so there's a ton of Civil War stuff there. And my backyard, I'd find like Civil War bullets and stuff. I mean, we were all, it was that stuff loomed heavily over my childhood just because it was so close. I mean, I even have a buddy that his old man would put on night vision goggles and go out to the national park battlefields and go metal detecting because that's a federal crime. You're not allowed to go do that shit. And he would go out there and just like outrun those park rangers and just get bullets and bayonets and like all this stuff. We'd always like play around with all that stuff in his garage. It's kind of amazing.
He's writing his dad in prison. Dear Dad, thanks for the rusty bayonet.
It was worth every minute.
Bro, that shit was a big part of growing up in this house. Somebody would be like, dude, they found arrowheads on our property. Yeah. Rusty shit. They found a fucking canteen from 70 years ago.
Yeah.
That was a huge thing about growing up in the South.
It is. My buddy who still lives back there, I went to go visit him a few years ago, and we were supposed to catch up. In Virginia? We were going to catch up downtown for a few beers, and he's like, hey, man, come back behind the high school here. Like, I want to show you something. It's like, uh-oh, here we go. But I went back behind the school, and we kind of like walked down to the woods, and we come down there, and he's found this place that he's like completely like roped off like it was an archaeological dig site. Yeah. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on back here? And he's like, man, I think I found like an old Indian camp here. And he started showing me all this shit that he had found. It was like weird, like pottery and arrowheads and all this stuff. And it was amazing. He found it on his own. And he was just like, yeah, man, there's so much of that stuff here that basically if you just like look for some place that had like access to water and had a lot of sunlight during the course of the day, that 9 times out of 10, somebody would have saw that as a place to set up camp. And then you start digging around and it's all under there. And like, man, it was cool. But it made me start looking at it everywhere a little differently. You know, it's cool.
Yeah, dude, they had a guy who hid treasure. Do you see that? He hid treasure for like 10 years. Somebody finally found it.
Oh, wow.
He hid a $2 million treasure, and it finally got found a few years ago. He made like a treasure, like a story about it.
Oh, gotcha. So he had like a little, like, put a call out.
Scavenger hunt, and people looked for it for years. A couple people died looking for it.
Oh, that's sick.
God, I used to always want to look for bodies on the side of the interstate. That's my big thing.
Oh, you were just trying to make a sequel to Stand By Me? Just trying to find Browers, Flowers, whatever the fuck his name was?
Yeah. Staying by I-65 is what it's going to be called. But yeah, that's something that I always wanted to do. I want to ask you about your kids before you leave. What's something that you admire about your children, if you're okay talking about your children?
Yeah, of course. You know,
it was cool of you to leave for the, you know, that one of the reasons you wanted to leave, that was for them. It's kind of neat. Like, you know, to be able to do choices like that, like with social media, just like to make kind of like choices that are for the betterment of yourself or others is it's harder to do these days than I think people think. So it's something that it seems pretty neat that you're able to do. But yeah, go on.
Yeah, well, you know, like I said, my wife is from Los Angeles. She grew up here, so she had never really lived outside of California. And I liked LA. I liked living here. I had a blast. But yeah, once I had kids, it wasn't like I thought they would have like a terrible childhood growing up here, but I just knew that there were going to be certain things that they wouldn't be exposed to that I just thought would be useful for them to be exposed to. And my wife and I, we headed down to Charleston for a long weekend to kind of like just take a look at it without the kids and just sort of like, could we do this? Like, could we make a run at this? What are we going to do? And we had looked at some houses, and then we were kind of sitting in this bar just having a drink, kind of like writing down on a napkin like the pluses and minuses, like how realistic it would be. And I remember looking out the window, and there was like a group of probably, 10 kids, like probably between the ages of like 7 and 15, on skateboards and bikes and jean shorts, no shirts, carrying fishing poles, not a parent in sight. And I was like, yeah, we got to move here. Like, this is like exactly what I want our kids to be able to do, is just that. I want them to be able to like be free to kind of like explore the world and to see things without having to worry about them so much. And so that was cool. And I mean, my kids are just, I don't know, my daughter is like insanely funny. She's 10 years old, and she is. I mean, honestly, like before she could even talk, she was giving people the bird, flicking people off. Like I channel her in that character, Judy, the sister in Righteous Gemstones.
You do?
I do. I channel my daughter in that a lot of times.
Dude, I got to interview that lady one time. She's the most talented.
Best, she's the best. God. Edie's amazing.
That's so funny that you would channel even a child.
Yes. And Edie and my daughter have a very special relationship. Edie calls it that they're in the Bad Girls Club. And so every time Edie talks to my daughter, she'll be like, Bad Girls Club, and Pina will give her a high five. But yeah, my daughter came by the set this year, and there was a dead body on the set, not a real one, but and there was like fake blood, and she was like kind of obsessed with like, what is this? There's fake blood, like what is that? And I started realizing, like, oh man, yeah, she doesn't have any concept of what this is or what I do when I leave. And she kind of got really obsessed with this idea of fake blood. And our props master gave her this big tub of like, fake movie blood.
Oh, that's great.
And she uses it all the time.
Really?
She'll call us in, and she'll be like laying in the shower with like blood coming out of her belly button and out of her neck, and pretending to be she's a sicko.
Yeah, it seems like things are going good over there. What I would, dude, my brother, so my dad was like real old when I was born. My dad was 70, who's an older man, and so my brother used to do this thing. I've talked about it before on my comedy show, but he'd be like, Dad's dead. He'd come in the room, right?
That was his bit?
Because Dad was like, Dad would be 79. And
Dad's dead.
He'd come in, I'd be doing something, he'd be like, Dad's dead. And I'd be like, the first time I was like, no, don't, and I'd go in there and he would be alive, right? And then it got to this is where I knew this is when something I think got weird maybe in my head, because I would be like, he better fucking be dead or I'm gonna beat your ass, right? It became like just the whole juxtaposition of that little thing in my head. Like if I'm gonna get up now,
I better see a dead body. I'm gonna be pissed off.
Yeah, that bastard.
And then look, you got older and you did that to other people by telling people Jay Leno was dead.
That's true.
You helped spread that trauma.
Yeah, dude, I love that kind of stuff. There was something so much fun about being young. And Michael Landon was supposed to come to our town one time and meet people at the fair, and my mom got all dressed up and went, and he didn't come.
Oh, that's a bummer.
That was a heartbreak.
Is that what you have, that Michael Landon cutout there?
Yeah, we like to have that. I'm a big Highway to Heaven fan. I'm a big Victor French fan. You kind of look like a young Victor French, actually.
I'll take that. I loved Highway to Heaven.
God.
That was good.
It was so
I wouldn't have pegged you for a Highway to Heaven fan. That's good to know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, we grew up on that, TBS, now like the Olsons. Oh, yeah, look at him.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, he's a good dude. Look at that.
Yeah, that's very you.
I think we could do that. I could see you being Michael Landon. I think let's redo Highway to Heaven. That's the next thing. Let's do it, dude. We'll call it Highway to Hell. How about that?
Yeah, dude. It would be just one off ramp.
Yeah, we just meet people and ruin their lives. That's what we do.
It reminds me of the movie Family Man. Have you seen that movie?
Which one is that?
With Nicolas Cage. It's a Christmas movie.
Oh, yeah. It's been a long time. But yes, I remember that film.
I love that movie, dude. That's one of my favorites. The first movie I ever saw, I think, was, that's it right there. Did you ever get to work with Nicolas Cage?
I haven't, but I'm such a fan of his, man. He's so awesome.
Yeah, he seems so interesting.
Yeah, and that little turn he had in Long Legs last year, I mean, how scary is that?
Dark Arts.
Dark Arts, yes. Satan shit.
Yeah, dude. I think we need more of it. You know what I'm saying?
That's definitely what I think. When I look at the state of the world, I feel like what the world needs now is more devil.
Let's fucking party, dude. Let's amp this bitch up. Was there ever something weird, like once you started making some money? Because making money is an interesting thing, right? Like some people really get into it and that's their thing. But it's like, were there ever like a team that you wanted to invest in or some interesting thing that like, that somebody might consider? Was there anything like that for you?
Man, I don't think I have ever. I mean, I think growing up without any money, it's like the moment you get your hands on some, you just try to sock it away because you're thinking they're coming to take it at any moment.
Oh, yeah.
So I need to start being a little bit more ambitious with my spending, though, and just relax a little bit, probably.
Yeah, that time I'm just scared. It's like, well, what if, it's just scary. And then also, what do I really want?
Yeah.
I think I want to start like a halfway house, but that makes clothing too, dude.
Oh, yeah. Put those fuckers to work.
Be like, this shirt's dope. Yeah, that's kind of a dumb joke, but thank you for laughing at that.
I like it. It is dope.
Thanks, dude. Yeah, what was something else that I was thinking about? Because I'll never see you again, but I was just trying to think of what it is.
You don't think we'll ever see each other again? Is this it?
No, it'd be awesome if we did.
I feel like we might.
Do you get impressed by a lot of the stuff that you see out there? Like, do you get inspired? Like, you'll see a movie, you'll see something, you're like, it makes you want to keep making more? Do you think you'll take a little bit of a break? What do you kind of think? Or you already have something you're making next?
Nah, I think I'm going to take a little bit of a break. I mean, like I said earlier, like my hobby is basically writing and creating, right. So I'm sure I won't stop that. But, it takes a lot to make something like this. Gemstones, I've been on this now for, 7 years of working on this thing full time. And, I'm looking forward to just chilling out for a little bit and spending time with the fam. But, as soon as you start doing that, then you'll get an idea for something else. And so I feel like I'll always want to make stuff. But it's also good to just enjoy your life a little bit, too, and not be so worried all the time about what's going to be next and just kind of take it easy.
Yeah, I get definitely caught up. Like I have to do this or this, but then sometimes I do start to notice a little bit more. Like I want to chill out because I want to give my brain time to think, so it's fun for me. It's like
so it can heal.
Yeah, that used to be the most fun, dude. When your brain gives you an idea and it just makes you laugh. You're by yourself or whatever.
Totally. Yep. And then you got to share it.
What about your son? You said about your daughter. What about your son?
My son, he's just gotten into lacrosse. Tony Cavallero, actually, he's helped us out. Tony Cavallero is a big deal in the lacrosse world. I don't know if you knew this.
I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, he's a big deal. And my son has shown an interest in it. So Tony has like kind of pushed us in the right direction of getting him into a cool team. And that lacrosse shit is pretty cool, man. I've been with him through all his different interests in sports, from baseball to football. And, you go on to those little Parks and Rec teams, and it's always just some kid's dad coaching, the lacrosse shit, though, is like the coaches are young. They're like athletes right out of college. I feel like the kids just respond to them in a different way than they do somebody's dad. It's cool. It's good to watch.
Huh. Yeah, that's interesting. I've never heard anybody even talk about that, except for this girl Mooby that works with Barstool Sports. She played lacrosse, so I would see her. Oh, one of my friends from New York would talk about it sometimes.
Yeah, I didn't know anything about it at all, and then I watched it. I'm like, this shit is hardcore. I mean, they like knock each other down on the ground, hit each other with these sticks, and I was surprised my son was even into it. I saw him getting out there whacking people. I'm like, oh damn, here we go.
What does he admire about it, you think?
I don't know, man. I think that the stick is pretty cool, but you got those pads, the gear is pretty awesome, but I mean, it is a pretty rough and tumble sport.
Is there ever moments,
and you look like that. You just knock the shit out of people and knock them on the ground. It's and like, and you see kids doing that. You see them doing it, and you're like, oh, you're allowed to do that. They don't stop it or anything. That's like part of the game. It's pretty badass. Boom! Look at that. I've seen a 10-year-old do that to another 10-year-old.
God, that's beautiful. God, you got to stop and drink that. Is it interesting whenever you see your kid, like say you take him to lacrosse and he likes it, is it interesting that you learn something about him by watching him start to like something?
Totally. Yeah, you start trying to think. I mean, parents are probably the worst thing you can do is kind of like always push your kids into what you're into and expect that, you using their childhood as a way to kind of like work out all your demons. It's like, I try not to do that with my kids. Like, I don't even think my kids even like movies, It's like, I've tried to like have movie nights with them and stuff. And they're like, yeah, we're good. They don't even, they don't see it. You're like, you're part of that dying art form. I got no interest. I want to watch Mr. Beast. I want to watch them Beast Squid Games.
Yeah, dude, that shit is pretty good. Some of it.
It is good. I like all that shit that they watch. I think it's fun. There's that one kid, I think his name is Ryan Trainer or something. He does like the stuff where he has like 10 cents and he tries to like make money to get across the country.
I haven't seen him. Pull him up, Ryan Trainer.
I think that's his name. But I like this stuff, dude. I like watching. I'm like, no wonder y'all aren't watching movies, man. You guys have this all dialed in. Yeah, he'll like start with like a penny and like figure out a way to get across the country with just starting with that.
Wow, Ryan Trahan,
that's what it is.
I've never even heard of this. And it's crazy. This video has 60 million views, right? Like, it's crazy how much is out there that you've never even heard of, and you'll be exposed. You'll be like, oh, this is amazing.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Wow. I'd like to meet this kid. There's these kids, Kobe and Sam, that are like these ghost hunter kids I want to get to meet. It's, I was never brave enough to vlog. We just had some streamers in, and that lifestyle is insane, man. 8 hours in a row.
It's wild, huh?
Dude, and think about that, 8 hours, right? And you have to be yourself, so you can't really hide who you are at all. And then you have to go home, and then come back and
do it all over again. I know. It takes a different type of brain to do that. That's what they like, though, I think. I mean, he watches kids play video games. And I try to get my head around that. I'm like, but you know what? I do remember being a kid, like over at your friend's house, sitting around the couch, watching somebody try to beat a game. And the shit was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I guess they're just not doing it maybe together as much, but maybe they are. I don't know. This could be a phase in time. I mean, we would go play at the church parking lot, dude. Anybody that would answer the door on the way down the street, it was 3 or 4 blocks to get down there. If you answered the fucking door, you were playing defense, right? So we would knock on the doors about 3:40 in the afternoon, walk down there, and there was a hole. Somebody, I don't know who put it out there, like the devil or whatever, but in the field, they had a field in front of the church off of Highway 190 over there in Covington, and sometimes every 2 years, somebody would step into the hole and break their leg or ankle.
Perfect. That's what it was there for.
Yeah, that's it, dude. That's a fucking free safety, bitch. That's what that is. That was fucking crazy, though. But yeah, if you answered the door, you had to come play, man. And we would get on our bikes and we would ride. They had like a ride probably about 1.5 miles over this place called Pat's Shrimp and Video, right?
Oh, I like that.
You get a bag of shrimp, right? Mm-hmm. It wasn't all you could eat, but it was like all they could put in the bag. And you would get to rent a movie, dude.
I love that.
God, dude. Terminator,
I miss a video store, don't you? I miss that stuff. That was fun.
There was nothing. Dude, I went to the last Blockbuster in Oregon probably 2 years ago. And these are the things I found fascinating about it. For one, you're not just stuck with what the platform, like the app or whatever we look on it now, Netflix, et cetera, is putting in front of you, like those 10 or 12 movies at a time. You get to kind of consciously wander And you're like, oh, I forgot about this movie, right? Yep. Oh, what? No way. He was in that. They did a movie together. You see all of these fronts of movies. You'll see 300 of them while you're in there. And you'll be like, drama, I'll do with that, like different ones, like diabetes is a section. There's like some of the sections have gotten a little bit more casual than before.
Pretty specific, yes. I'm going to get me a good diabetes movie this weekend. This is what I want to watch.
Yeah, I want to see these lactose intolerant films, whatever. But it's a totally different experience. It's in Bend, Oregon, which is a great place. If you only about 4 or 5 nice months out of the year at all, though, to be honest with you, a lot of bad
That's
stuff.
why they got that Blockbuster still in business, man. They needed it.
But your brain would be like, oh, well, and you talk with your friend, what do you think about this? You would kind of discuss it it was much more, it was so much different than, oh, I'm just going to pick one off of here. It didn't even feel the same.
I think movies needed it. I do. I think that when you have access to all of it, it makes all of it not that special. And I think weirdly there was something about if you went to the video store and you wanted to see a movie and it wasn't in, it made you instantly think that movie was a bigger deal than anything. And then when you finally got it, you would have all this other stuff invested in wow, I'm so lucky. I got Under Siege. It's here. It's in my house.
Steven Seagal, was he in that?
He was, yeah.
Fuck yeah, dude. Van Damme, when I was growing up, that shit was blood sport.
I can't believe that that's a genre that doesn't really exist. You're just are there no 20-year-olds who know martial arts that are good looking, that can just whip ass and be action heroes? What is going on? People don't want to see that anymore?
It's a great point. Yeah, that kind of stuff doesn't exist. I just watched Interstellar the other day. That was cool. But yeah, that genre doesn't exist, man. Garbage Pail Kids cards, we ride and get those bitches.
Yeah, that stuff was good. That's good living.
Oh, you'd get your ass beat.
You just sit there watching Highway to Heaven. That's us, dude. We got this.
I don't know, dude.
Yeah, dude. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah.
I look like I've obviously done some cocaine. And you
dude,
look like.
Yeah, that looks like
you
me,
just got
unfortunately.
Yeah, that looks like you.
That looks like me after I watched some of them diabetes films.
I know.
Got a little too deep into it.
You'll be the Wilford Brimley, dude.
That's right.
Dude, my dad bought this car off some kind of blackish, kind of black guys that live by us. And it was some guys that were in the culture with the big speakers in the car. And at that time, it was white and black guys that had the speakers in the trunk. But he bought a Cutlass off of him and he would listen to Paul Harvey and shit in his car. Mm-hmm. And it would just blast this bass in there.
For no reason.
Paul Harvey. Yeah.
That's how it was in my high school too. It's all you could count that any kid who had the shittiest car would have just straight up stadium speakers in the back of it. Unreal. Every screw rattling in the car.
Fucking unreal, dude. That was so much fun, man. Being alive has been fun, huh?
Yeah, not too bad. We'll see.
It's been an adventure. Do you like parenting? Is it something that you really enjoy doing? Do you kind of was that something that what is something surprising that you found about parenting? And then we'll get you out of here.
Man, I do like it. I think it's fun. What's fun about it, man, is I try to stay pretty involved in my kids' lives. I don't want to, I know it goes by quick and I don't want to miss it all and then have all these regrets, when my kids don't want to talk to me when they're all grown. I try to take my kids to school every morning. But it was fun as they got into school, going back, walking in for a parent-teacher conference and having to sit in those little chairs and talk to the teacher and be I forgot all about this shit. And you just remember all these feelings and emotions of what comes around with the first day of school. And I don't know, it's and then just seeing childhood from this side of it, and you kind of also realize how short it is. When I was a kid, I thought my parents' whole existence started when I began, and that was their whole life. And then you kind of realize, man, that time period was just a blink in the eye for them. And it's the same. I feel like it goes by so quick. My son's 13; he's going to be in 8th grade next year, and I already find myself just getting sappy and sad, just it's been a good run. I've really enjoyed raising you.
Yeah, because I guess once they hit
they don't need you as much. I mean, already now it's we at nighttime, we'll all sit down to hang, and he'll be upstairs on the game or talk with his friends. You kind of it happens quick.
Damn.
Yeah.
Does it hurt a little bit? You can't really express that to him because that's kind of weird, huh?
Yeah, it does hurt a little bit, but it's good. You want them to be independent. You don't want them just sitting there trying to suck off the teat, for too long. You need them to kind of get out there and want to spread those wings.
Yeah. Have you ever wanted to pull off a heist or something? That's my last question for you.
Yeah, of course. Who hasn't, man? Rob somebody? Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
I'm not even talking about a corporation. I'm talking about just some sucker walking down the street with a nice watch on.
If you were to do a bank robbery, you had to go in there with a couple of guys. Who do you bring in there with you, Danny?
Well, I think after this wonderful conversation, I feel like you'd be game. I'd bring you in. I'd bring Tony Cavallero in. Maybe you guys could confuse people by them not knowing who's who. That could be a good distraction. I'd take the whole gang of Righteous Gemstones in there, man. Even John Goodman. He can throw down. I think we could take anybody. We'd take all that money.
Well, he beat all that fat he had.
Yeah, he did. He beat the shit out of that. Yeah,
he sure did.
And John is such a massive dude. He's so tall.
Is he really?
Yeah, he's a towering presence.
Well, he was there was a rumor that he had lived in Bogalusa, Louisiana. So he was always like one of these like rumored people that lived in the distance, Mm-hmm. So there was always a strong love for John Goodman from Louisiana area.
Yeah, he's I grew up always loving him, always. And it was insane to be able to get to work with him on this show. It'll be one of the things I'll miss the most about making this show was getting to see him every season.
Really?
Yeah, he was great. Awesome.
What makes him so great? I mean, obviously he's a generational talent. He's a father to, he's been a father to half of America over times.
You look at him, it's like he was making TV shows when TV wasn't cool, and he would still be able to go pop in and work with the Coen brothers. And, he just was doing his own thing and been doing it for this long, and always funny, always good. I mean, he never shows up in something and it's not impressive. And, it's funny, like even being an actor and looking around, you look at it, you're like, most people have maybe a handful of years in them, like you look at people and you really do. Like I would think about actors that I saw in movies when I was a kid, and you'd kind of be like, oh man, what happened to that person? And then you'd kind of look at their filmography and you're like, oh man, most people only have a span of a few years, maybe even a decade, and then they kind of disappear. And
good point. Just like with your favorite sports players.
Yeah. And then, but you look at a guy like Goodman and how long he's been working, and you realize like that's no easy feat, and that he stays relevant and he stays good, and the stuff he chooses is cool, and the roles he plays are cool. It's, it's admirable.
Yeah. Yeah, Carol O'Connor's buried not far from my apartment in Westwood.
Oh, wow.
And I'll take people over there a lot of times, and if they're visiting in town or whatever. And he's definitely one of my favorites because of In the Heat of the Night.
Oh, yeah.
God, that show was so good.
Oh, I like your TV picks, dude. You're a In the Heat of the Night guy and Highway to Heaven.
Yeah, I love like kind of Southern kind of, I love those things, man. Those are some of my favorites for sure. But what was I who was that? Oh, Carol O'Connor. Who else is buried there? Marilyn Monroe.
Boom.
Same cemetery.
In the same coffin, I hear.
Errol. That's good. Yeah. I heard she's working nights.
They doubled them up.
Yeah. Errol Flynn. I'm just going to keep advertising this place. Errol Flynn. Oh, Hugh Hefner's buried there also. Walter Matthau.
Wow.
So anyway,
which cemetery is this? Is that Hollywood Forever Cemetery?
No, it's in fucking Westwood, dude. Okay. You wouldn't even know it. It's behind a building. You're like, what the fuck? It's like behind a Nextel building. There's no other like blocks of grass anywhere near it. It's just like big buildings, tall, huge buildings, and then there's this one little bitty. It's fucking 40 square yards.
Wow, that's that.
Got some kings in that bitch. A lot of Persians in there too. A lot of names you can't really pronounce, but that's it right there, dude.
Beautiful.
Walter Matthau's in that bitch, dude.
That's what's so crazy about LA is I feel like LA has done a really shitty job of like maintaining the history of this place. I feel like every time I try to rent an apartment back in the day, everyone would tell you like, oh, Charlie Chaplin lived down the street. Charlie Chaplin was here. But you're like, you realize this shit is these people mean something to people, and the idea that like so much gets built and torn down, like I feel like you look at Hollywood Boulevard, you're like, man, this should just be like Colonial Williamsburg. This should be some shit where you just walk in and it looks exactly like it used to back in the day.
That's a great point.
It's like this is such a unique. There's such a unique history to this place that it's kind of sad that all you can do is go to a little cemetery to go see these things. It'd be kind of cool if you could walk in the same bars and restaurants they did, or
you go by their apartment. If you got to go by the apartment that Walter Matthau lived in,
I think it would mean something to people. It really would.
That's a good point. I never thought about that. Yeah, because you'll go like we'll preserve some places like Charleston preserves their history. I like a lot of but yeah, Hollywood's never had much of a memory. Kind of, I feel like it just.
Well, and it's the thing, I think in the day, everyone's just trying to survive. But now when you kind of look back at what Hollywood is, you're like, wow, there's some pretty influential things and people that have been around here. And some of these places that people take for granted they have like cultural and historical significance.
Fuck. You're right, Danny.
Take that.
Season 4, Righteous Gemstones. Adam Devine's coming in too to talk to us.
Oh, good.
I know.
He's just going to sit here and lie his ass off. That's all he does.
Well, yeah, he also he complains that he said he was getting that shin thing where he gets elongated or whatever.
Yeah.
He's made up a lot of stuff.
He's he's a sweet man. He'll be like another one that I'll miss seeing him every year. He's so awesome.
Yeah, it's weird when a set ends, when the shoot ends. It's just it's the last day of school.
Yeah,
everybody's saying goodbye to everybody. You're getting all these photos, and then the next day or two, you're just in.
Everything's like back to normal. It's all but hopefully. I get to keep in touch with a lot of these people.
Oh, for sure.
Walton Goggins and Edie Patterson. I met them on Vice Principals, and both of them are like two of my closest friends. So,
oh, really?
Yeah. So hopefully, I'll get to keep in touch with these people. We played a family. Maybe we need to act like one. Yeah.
I like that challenge. Danny McBride, thanks so much for all the entertainment, dude, all the inspiration. And I just really appreciate your time, man. I hope you continue to make fun stuff. I'm sure you will. And congrats on getting to spend time with your kids.
Thank you, man. I hope you put that dick laser to good use, okay?
Don't you fucking worry. Don't you fucking worry. I'm putting this on some fucking bitch's back at the UFC fight this weekend. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, buddy.
You bet. Thanks for this gift. Yeah, very nice.
You're going to use it. I can already tell.
Now I'm just floating on the breeze, and I feel I'm falling like these leaves. I must be cornerstone. Oh, but when I reach that ground, I'll share this peace of mind I found. I can feel it in my bones, but it's gonna take